I'm here at my local range today. I'm going to be shooting some arrows out of my longbow here and just show you what I'm working on. I'm actually working on trying some self-discovery stuff in regards to traditional archery that I might be able to apply to other aspects of archery, and we'll see how it goes today. And I'll share with you what I'm working on, and as it goes on, hopefully I'll make some progress and get some results that I can report back to you as far as what I find.
You're watching the Kaminski YouTube channel.
I'm just going to be shooting some arrows and kind of showing you the impact points. I've got a camera down there recording the whole time. I forgot my bug spray because there's ticks. It's Florida, it happens. And I don't want to walk the field course because I didn't bring my bug spray for my shoes. So unfortunately, I'm just going to stick to the practice range today and still have a good time regardless. And today, I'm going to start here at 15 yards. So what I'm trying to work on is when I let go, what I'm feeling, what's my cue, or why I'm letting go. The first one went well, exactly how I thought I want to do it. The second one, I rushed it, a little bit of anticipation going on. That's kind of target panic, of course. So what I need to do is spend a little bit more time during my pre-shot routine to think about how I'm actually trying to shoot my shot. So what I need to do is actually spend a little bit more time in my pre-shot routine to make sure I kind of run through how I want to actually shoot my shot, because I really want to be able to control everything as far as what I'm doing here in trad archery to a level that's different compared to my bare bow or recurve style of shooting. All right, I'm gonna keep playing and see what happens. So what I'm kind of experimenting with is looking for, not necessarily a tell, but what is causing me to let go of the string. And so bare bow and traditional are more alike compared to bare bow and recurve, I think. At least in my very small amount of experience so far shooting traditional archery. And the reason I'm even thinking of this is because there's, well, at least what I'm shooting with now, there's no clicker, right? No clicker at all. And even with bare bow, the grip sear, yes, there's a clicker, but there's still no clicker, not like a recurve. So my thought goes to, is expansion required? Because what transfer is, when you apply the KSL shot cycle or the NTS system, which I'm used to shooting, the actual purpose of expansion is to set the clicker off. Transfer is basically the last moment that everything happens, including aiming, and it is the thing when the last moment when there are red lights in the system, meaning checks that aren't quite there yet, that you really you should not shoot until all of the bulbs turn green. Like, am I at full draw? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel relaxed? Am I aiming? Is my sight picture correct? String alignment, all those things. But most importantly, did I engage my back? Did I get into position? Am I at full draw? Am I in full alignment? Am I fully bracing the bow? Am I inside the bow? Many different ways to put it. And if that's the case, that transfers that last moment, then why is expansion needed? Why can't potentially transfer be longer and slower? So that way, once all the lights turn green, you just cut it loose. And maybe that's how the NTS system or the KSL shot cycle or the best method or whatever you want to call it could apply a little bit easier and to potentially increase like the proficiency of the system as far as applying it to these styles of archery. So I'm playing around with that today, and we'll see how that goes. I'm really just trying to pick my visual spot, how I'm looking at the spot, and then slowly get into transfer, and once I feel like it's done, let it go. I still struggle with the anticipation of that because, I mean, let's be honest, it's fun to let go of an arrow and watch it fly, so there's that pulling me in different directions. But that is the ultimate, in search of discovery during this video that I'm looking for. And I figured instead of just doing it on my own, I could record it and share the journey and share my experience of what I'm actually thinking about and how I'm trying to approach this from a little bit more of a methodical stance, as opposed to, my first few videos shooting this thing where it's just putting arrows downrange for the sake of fun. I'm still enjoying this. This is still a lot of fun, and it's still very different. And so, I'm just in search of something that I don't have an answer for yet. So that's what I'm doing. All right, we're somewhere here around 18 or so now, just so you know. Definitely wasn't ready on that one. When it goes well, like as far as what I feel, it feels very nice. The shot breaks well, feel very calm about it, and relatively in control. I really like it. It's definitely affecting my impacts, because it's a lot, I don't know, it's a lot more time involved, so I need to work on that some. We'll get him and do it again. So that was 20. It goes okay if I run through the shot routine in my head. And I know things take time to develop, obviously, but it definitely is requiring a fair amount of very deliberative focus, and it is something to ponder if that's how I want to do this or not, because I don't want to complicate things, and I don't want to make things not enjoyable. I'm not approaching that yet, because I have a lot to discover still. So I'm gonna keep shooting and see how it plays out. See if anything develops. So I think the transfer itself, there has to be something after it, and I think that's where it might work a little bit better. It's still similar to recurve and barebow, but still not really expansion. It's more of like a transfer and. So in in recurve, there's almost a, for people that don't know, load, anchor, transfer, 3 steps. Load is draw back to essentially full draw, not quite to anchor. Anchor is anchor. Transfer is more of where you're settling into the shot at full draw. You're trying to lower your intensity, trying to make sure you're holding with your back and not your hands, and you have finished drawing the bow back, and now your focus on the focus is on the shot execution. And so after transfer, there is a lull or a pause almost, and that can almost be summarized as using the word and. So load, anchor, transfer, and expand, right? And so if I say and, I feel a lot more calm, I feel a lot more relieved, less stressful, and it feels very good. And that gives me that stillness, that moment of pause before I cut it loose. And it felt much better. The left to right groups were actually better as well. I think my draw length was a little bit more consistent that way, so it overall just felt better. All right, well, we're still here at 20, but now we got half of an antelope down there. I have no idea where the actual scoring zones are, so just gonna go for the anatomical correct position. Whoops. Hopefully I'm getting that one out. Better go get that before it falls over. So the only thing I need to not lose sight on is tension in direction. That's where that low one came into play. At least analyzing it, that's where it feels like it's coming into play, is I just didn't have that same feel of the tension in the bow arm specifically kind of being my aiming per se. So I'm gonna go for the orange spot now. That one sounded weird. I'm gonna have to check that arrow. I've not made that noise before. The last one was a good one. I think maybe what happened with that one was because I shot the wood, the knock probably pushed its way out the arrow slightly, and so it slammed into the shaft when I let it go. I didn't check that. I checked to make sure the carbon wasn't cracked by flexing it. I just didn't look at the knock, so I bet you that's what that clack was when I let go. Let's try shooting 25 and see how it goes. See those arrows turn sideways on this background. At least I can. I don't know if you can. A little bit of wind, but mostly the tune. They're real stiff. I'm gonna shoot again from 25. It's very fun shooting much further. It's way more challenging. Again, I'm not using anything as an aiming reference at all. Really just looking at stuff, looking at the target. Yes, I use some peripheral things to, I'm sure subconsciously something's happening to try to make it the same, because otherwise grouping wouldn't be possible. But it's not conscious, it's not deliberate. What's weird is I don't throw my bow arm, not consciously. My body just did that relatively on its own. It just felt like it was going right for some reason, and the body just made it go towards the left. Still hit right. You know, I don't even have a visual reference, so why do I throw my bow arm? I really don't. I have no idea. Bounce out. Alright, so a little rusty the last two ends here because I just finished up a lesson. I was starting my video and my lesson showed up a couple of minutes early, so I wasn't able to finish it. So I'm having to re-talk myself back into the mindset of what I was trying to achieve. Really, what I'm trying to work on discovering is not necessarily a triggerless shot or anything like that. I just feel like I want to be able to feel like I'm ready to shoot, like I am when I'm shooting my recurve. When I finish transfer, everything says go. So there's nothing really stopping me from letting go at that point, unless somebody walks out on the range or something like that. Of course, I won't shoot the shot. But primarily, what is the main thing that I'm going for? And that is do everything I can early in the shot, get as much done to the level that I'm trying to achieve it as early as possible, to the level that I can best try to do it. And as soon as all the lights are lit up green, all that's left to happen is making the clicker click, and that's through expansion to make the clicker click, right? Up until that point, if the clicker were to click early, I would not fire it because not everything is turned green. Not all the lights are green. I'm not entirely ready. But as soon as I'm done transferring, I am ready. But what I want to do is to not rush letting it go. The target panic surfaces for me in ways that makes me want to shoot before I'm ready because I have the intention of shooting. So I'm trying to bridge the gap there, and this is just me trying to work through things on my own without reading anything other than, you know, what I've read in Joel Turner's stuff, or I didn't read his stuff, but I took his class, or his course, Shot IQ. I'm trying to transfer then say and fire at any point after I say and. Now, I'm trying not to rush it. That's the main key. So what I don't want to do is load, anchor, transfer, fire because I didn't say and. But if I say and start to say and, if it goes early, it goes early. But if I'm able to load, anchor, transfer, and fire, that's fine. That would be best. But if I can start to say and, even if I pre-anticipate and start my my pre-ignition sequence where I'm starting to move before I let go, one shot, definitely I threw left of the orange dot that I was aiming at in the middle. Again, rusty, not in the right mindset because I was, just distracted for the past hour and a half basically. So I got to recenter myself and refocus on what I'm trying to do so that way I can, get back to being good at this, or at least feeling good about it, most importantly. So I'm going to shoot a couple more ends, just kind of recenter and refocus on what I'm doing. I'll continue to move the camera as I'm going, and if I have anything important to say, I'll mention it. Otherwise, I'm just going to shoot some arrows and enjoy the rest of the moment that I have here before I need to head home. I'll get the hang of it. So let's just make it hard, I guess, while I'm at it. Make it difficult on myself and go back to 30 because, I don't know, I like a challenge. And the further I go, the harder it is to deal with the overall stress of the matter. So keeps you honest. Well, I think I hit the arrow in the orange dot, so it is so hard to manage at this distance. More than anything do I want to fire early. Alright, I'm gonna get him and do one more here. Actually, I just looked at the time. I gotta run. I'm done shooting for the day. I really enjoyed it. Just working on sharing my experience with you, so hopefully maybe it'll make you feel better because I am mortal, I am human, I make mistakes, and I have my own struggles too. So I'm just being honest, figured I might as well share it, and also hopefully I'm working on discovering a few things that I'll be able to share that'll help make you a better archer later on. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit subscribe and consider sharing and consider supporting this channel many different ways and links in the description below.